right, welcome back to the Most Wanted Podcast. I'm your host, Nahum Bogala, and nothing is safe from discussion over here. Before we start off, let me shout out those listening in on Anchor, Radio Public, Overcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast, as well as Google Podcasts. Also want to give a big shout out to those listening in through Spotify as well. If you're listening in from Apple Podcasts, make sure to give a 5-star rating and review as well. If you're listening in on YouTube via the BrarHive channel, make sure to like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. You can stay up to date with the podcast on Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast, as well as Twitter at Most Wanted Pod. All right, now that we got all that shit out the way, we're going back. So this is going to be season 1 finale of the Most Wanted Podcast. Shit's crazy. It's already been almost a year at this point since I started. And I want to finish it off with a bang, so we're going to finish it off with another segment of Project YYC. One of our very own, Flame City's very own, TripppleCup is here with me.
Sir.
How you doing, my guy? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It's good to see you again.
I know, it's been so long since we last met up, man. Holy fuck. Quarantine actually kicking our ass right now.
Yeah, it's been a tough year.
I know. So for all of y'all that don't know, or you will know soon enough, TripppleCup just released a new track called Body out now. You can stream it out on all platforms. Check it out. Shit's crazy. I promise you. I promise you.
Body on tight, underground stream, she gon' trip all night. Scene change, they get hotter on sight. We was just friends, now my head's so light. White wine set the mood, she was acting so cool in school, so I needed to sight. When she learn how to do that, I'll burn. When she do that, all you hot, so the baby not quite.
I promise you. Right? So, I gotta ask first and foremost, where did the name TripppleCup come from?
All right. So TripppleCup, and I'm glad that we're doing this podcast while we're doing it, because the name's about to change. Everything's about to change. The game's about to change. The city's about to change.
Okay.
But, you know, TripppleCup, it was the intro. When I started, it was last year, just over a year ago. Mm-hmm. You know, COVID had first hit. We had a lot of time at home. I've always liked, you know, writing music, just doing like 1-2 freestyle stuff like that.
Right.
And I was just like, oh, fuck it, I've got time. Like, let me like write a track and just see if I can do it.
Right. Yeah.
And then, honestly, like the name TripppleCup, it was like just a one night like thing. I was just hanging out with my friend, and I was like, because you know, like double cups.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, has anyone ever said like TripppleCup?
You're like shit.
Like, oh, that'd be a fire name.
Yeah.
So I just ended up doing it, and it like really it doesn't have anything to do with like my identity as an artist or anything, but it was a good place to start because I needed to figure out my style. I needed to figure out who I was as an artist. You know, TripppleCup, it's easy to remember, it's catchy.
True.
But its era has come to an end. So you know, right now, if you're listening to this, you know, you're still gonna be able to find me at _cup. That's triple with 3 P's _cup. But if you listen to this after July 10th, man, shit's gonna change.
Okay. Any hints on that for the audience? Any hints?
Yeah, let's leave it till a little later in the podcast. You know, we gotta keep them on their toes.
No worries. Okay, I like how you thinking right now, bro. I ain't gonna cap. Whenever I search up your name, I always get confused if it's a triple I or a triple P. Every time I get fucked up. It's not like I forget. It's like, okay, I think it's triple P this time, and then I search it up, I can't find. I'm like, am I dumb or something? And then I search up triple I can't find. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I go on your Instagram. I'm like, so I was right the first time. Oh, it actually pisses me off every time.
Nah, then this next one's a better name. It's definitely me. It's me. So like again, you know, keep listening to the podcast. Maybe you'll get a little something.
I like how you thinking right now. I like that. So I want to start off first off, like, you know, your past. You know, what inspired you to begin rapping, pretty much?
Okay, well this is interesting because you know, and I'm sure this is something that a lot of people are interested in knowing who knew me previously wouldn't expect this. Mm-hmm. The thing is, like, I didn't actually grow up like hip hop wasn't like a huge part of like me growing up. You know, it's just like I'm a like white middle class kid. You know, like it just like we like the hip hop with, you know, there's the songs came around, but it wasn't like something like my friend group just wasn't listening to hip hop like that, you know?
Right.
There's like, but the thing is like any bit of hip hop that did come into my life, I really associated with, I really attached to. Like, it just took me to get to a certain point, you know, kind of coming out of high school where I got more comfortable on my own, discovered kind of, you know, new groups of friends, discovered like, you know, even just simple as getting Spotify, like really being able to tune into the music that I like, you know, the media that I like to consume. I started to realize like, I was just a huge fan of the art. And so, man, it's been amazing in a sense, because it's like, I've become a student of hip hop, and I've just been studying it. And it's like all the things that like, I mean, there's albums and albums and albums and albums of just this fantastic genre of music that like I just now get to spend the rest of my life like consuming, learning, studying, and trying to you know, add to it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like that's really what my relationship with the art form has been, and it's continuing to grow. And like I want to say like one thing, like I understand. All that being said, you know, I don't want to be a culture vulture in any sense. And I know there's a lot of people who do that same kind of thing, you know, and never really listen to hip hop. And then, oh, watch, I know how to make this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm a profit off of it. That's not in all my intention. Like I really do appreciate the art form. And I promise, like I'm putting in the work to make sure that I understand and appreciate the roots. And, you know, I just want to add to it. I want to be authentic to myself and also be true to the art form.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much as what anyone would want, right? You know, just be true to yourself, be true to the art form, and then just pursue it as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
So, damn, that was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Was there, like, after you left high school, right? Okay, well, actually, was there any in terms of art form, was there any specific groups that you were listening to previous, like besides rap, that kind of inspired you to go pursue the music route?
Oh, I mean, I've always just loved music in general. And my dad like was always great at like, you know, he gave me what he called like a music education. So he would always be showing me songs. Like, so I grew up listening to like a lot of like, you know, like the Beatles, a lot of like classic rock, as well as like I was really into like alternative music. I don't really listen to alternative music anymore, but in, you know, early Charlie was super into the, you know, indie and alternative. And then you know, like in terms of hip hop too, like the first, I remember there's like Gold Digger, Kanye West. Classic song. I just learned word for word. And I just,
wait, whoa. Word for word? Hey, come on now.
Almost word for word. Nah, you know there was the clean version. No broke.
You know, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed nowadays where it's like people, in terms of like going with the explicit and clean version, back in the day, they used to actually like fill in with different words.
Yeah, they didn't just censor it out.
Exactly. Yeah. Nowadays, they're censoring it out. So I'm like, I don't know. In my opinion, it kind of shows that like maybe people are being just a little lazy with it. I don't know.
Well, it's also they're censoring shit that's like absurd. Like sometimes they censor shit. Like an example of this is like if you listen to the radio and like Rockstar by DaBaby and Roddy Ricch comes on, it's set at the lyric like pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. They censor pistol. But
why?
It's like, yo, everyone knows that cops are walking around with pistols. You can see them. That's not
like
why
bro, what
why
are you talking
pretending?
There are cops at schools nowadays. What the
fuck? So censorship, you know, it gets a little weird, but I think some artists still keep up with that tradition though of like they'll record like the radio version and then they'll record the explicit version.
And that's what I really like, to be honest, because then it kind of shows me that they're putting in a little bit more effort with it, rather than if they're going with like a clean version for the radio. I feel like it's more so the radio station that's blurring out everything. Yeah, and like a lot of stations are very, very, very like PC, like progressive, and in a sense like they're gonna censor almost anything in terms of rap, because rap is pretty vulgar most of the time. So like,
Also, kids these days don't know the struggle of having to drive around with your parents when the radio was on and it'd come on with like sexual lyrics and
they don't know. They don't know.
You'd have to start a conversation at the part that you knew they were gonna.
Oh my goodness! Word for word, you hear it coming on. And either you turn down the radio or you're like, "So how was your day?" You know, to start up a random ass convo. Oh
exactly.
That shit.
But
oh man.
They don't gotta worry about that anymore because they're doing all the work for them. Come on.
Exactly. And going back to what you were saying too about like, you know, before you left university or before you left high school, you're kind of more, you know, grew up with, you know, not a lot of, you know, hip hop, you know, more so like, you know, I don't want to say black culture, but like that's pretty much what it is. But would that be considering like after you left high school, you kind of started finding, you know, different friend groups, you know, kind of expanding who you are. Because honestly, that's the same thing that happened with me too. Because like I went to St. Mary's. I don't know if you knew, but like I went to Mary's. That's where I met like, you know, Dammy, like all of them, right? Yeah. And I was in IB, right? And I'm not gonna cap to you. The majority of people in full IB, white as snow. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey man, they were Caucasian. Of course, I ain't got no problem, right? But like, you know, it's kind of odd. And then so I don't want to say I was sheltered in that regard, but like I never really went out anyways because I was at work most of the time. So I was either at work or at school. And as a result, I never really had a chance to like expand the friend group.
Right.
And then going to university,
you get influenced by who you're around.
Exactly. And then like going to university, it's like a whole new atmosphere, like new friend groups, new people to listen to, new like shows to watch. Literally, you get influenced so much more by university just because you're on your lonesome more than you are in high school.
And I think it's also like, in a sense, like when you're in high school, it's like your world is so small. Mm-hmm. So it's like you, all you kind of know is like what's immediately around you, or that's really what you have to focus on because that's all that you have. And then when you leave, and like especially like me, I moved out, and it's just like the world becomes a lot bigger. You start to like, you know, you're not just forced into this, you know, this school where it's like, oh, here are kids in your age group and your neighborhood, and y'all are just, that's what you guys have in common, but you're going to spend all your time together. Here you go. Boom. It's like you get out, you start to have a little more choice just into like how you move and who you interact with. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like also, like I want to say like, it wasn't that I like never ever listened to rap, you know, like I did. It's just, I also just wasn't as aware of like even the history and like, you know, just I didn't have as much of a holistic perspective on the art form until later in my life.
Right. So like you weren't really going back into the history of the game and then understanding from there. You were more so like caught up in the modern time, but like I see what you mean. Mm-hmm. I got you. I mean, that's
like whatever was popping was what was popping and people were listening to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, like especially like even younger, like when I was like elementary, junior high, like I wasn't listening to rap like that just because I didn't have access to music even aside from like what was on the radio.
Right. I mean, then again, almost all of us only had access to the radio too, to be honest, because you thought we could all afford our own phones back then?
Unless you were one of those kids that was like, you know, there's always those kids that were good at like downloading illegal shit. Like they could get like music and movies and all that shit. I was like, how the hell are you guys doing this?
Dog, I was like, yo, if my parents ever caught me doing that shit, oh wow. Oh, I'm getting a nice talking to. Holy Jesus. But like, I remember my brother
didn't even know where to begin. It's like,
oh God, I was like, how the fuck did this shit work? Now I'm doing this shit like it's no problem. But like back then, I'm like, how does that work? How are you guys doing this shit? What the fuck?
And let's not forget the anti-pirating commercials. You remember those ones? The one that's like, you wouldn't steal a purse. You wouldn't steal a car. Pirating in movies is illegal. And it'd be like that girl, she's like, download complete. Did it? She get out, walk out of her room. Bro, I see that shit. I'm like, what the hell? Pirating? Because you associated that with fucking Jack Sparrow, so it was already like crazy.
Bro, you unlocked a mad memory because I haven't remembered that shit in years. Oh my lord. Oh, that shit was in hindsight, it's hilarious. But back then, you're like, shit, I'm not gonna do that. Nowadays, I'm like, the fuck? No way.
Hey man, we got Spotify now. We got Apple Music now. It's pretty easy to get all this shit even without even without the illegal downloads.
On God, bro. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. High school was a struggle.
$4.99.
High school was a struggle mainly because I didn't have a credit card, which meant I had to use Spotify for free. Oh, that was the biggest bitch in my life because I'm driving, like, me and Dan, we're in a car, we're just driving, right? And I'm playing Spotify from my car, and all of a sudden it's like, want a break from the ads? And he looks at me with the...
Oh, you get judged so hard.
Oh, the most amount of disgust in his face. He's like, my nigga, what the fuck? I'm like, my bad, I'll do better. I'm like, my fault, my fault.
You know, you got to jump through those hurdles.
Bro, the moment I got a credit card, that was the first purchase. That was literally the first thing. I'm like, nah, I'm tired. I'm downloading all my shit. I'm tired. No more. No more.
iTunes, like, remember iTunes, like, just buying, like, $1.99 a song?
Dog,
and again, didn't have a credit card, so I'd have to, like, talk to my dad. I'd have to, like, make a decision, like, okay, I want to buy this song. I've been fucking with this song, so, like... Dad, listen,
you have to convince them?
Do the whole sit down and be like, okay, so here, I'll hand you my tuning. Like, can you please buy Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen? Like, I just want to listen to that shit. So then he downloaded it. You'd have to go upstairs to the computer, like, plug it in and download it.
Oh,
now
my Lord.
You have it on your iPod. You'd have 13 songs that you've accumulated over the years.
See, the problem was I tried, but my dad was like, no. And it wasn't because he was a cheapskate. He was like, nah, I'm afraid my credit card's going to get hacked through and it's GG's from there. I'm like, I just want to listen to something. He's like, nope, I'm so sorry. Same thing with, like, PlayStation, bro. I tried so many times to ask my dad for, like, a game that was only $10. I'm like, yo, can I use your credit card, pretty please? You know, try to have a whole discussion. It's like, the fuck? You think I'm gonna put my credit card on a server in public? No. I'm like, come on, man. In hindsight, I'm like, I see why. I see what he means. But like,
I mean, it was always an adventure. Always an adventure to try and get what you want.
Oh my Lord.
And the M-rated games, you'd have to get someone older to go.
Bro, oh my Lord.
I had to get my brother to get me GTA, and then I had to hide it under my bed.
Oh my Lord. Bro, I remember I bought Mortal Kombat 9 with my mom. What's it called? The cashier at GameStop, he was talking to us. He's like, I'm gonna let you guys know now, this game has nudity, graphic violence. And my mom was looking at me. I'm looking straight at the cashier. I'm like, you're fumbling the bag. What the fuck are you doing right now?
Bro, really? Is that what
you're gonna do me like this? I'm really? Like 10. I'm like, you gonna do me like this? Are you serious? In front of my mom? Come on, man. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Man. Oh man, those are
good days, bro. Good old days.
So many memories, man. But like going back to what we were talking about too. You said that you were more so influenced by rappers, like, you know, after you left high school and like you started, you know, getting more involved with the game and stuff. And your style, like what I can tell, I love rap, but like in terms of styles, I'm still trying to find, like, you know, how people sound like, who are they similar to, if they found their unique sound yet. And I kind of found yours to be like a more suave kind of style, you know, more laid back, real chill.
I like that.
It's like a more relaxing time. Like the song is really nice and like it's just like a chill song to listen through. Like, you know, Sunday afternoon on the patio, you know, you kick back, relax, and you're listening to TripppleCup. And I'm like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, and I mean, so early on, like I was obsessed, like through high school, and then to this day, like Anderson .Paak, that's my guy. And you know, he's not a rapper in like the strict sense of the word, but his style and the collaborations that like he's done, and just that whole type of genre of music. By the way, are we still good?
Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulty. Shit happened. My camera stopped working. I have no idea why.
Someone's trying to. They don't want this information out there. They're trying to hack it.
You know what?
Those same kids who were pirating songs, man, they heard us dissing and they're like, "Fuck, let's take them down."
It's those same people who my dad were afraid of on that credit card type shit. He was right. Yeah. He was right. My fault. It'd be like that.
We should have known. We shouldn't have been talking about them like that. But also, fuck y'all.
Yeah, ruining my damn childhood. God, for no reason.
All right.
But you were saying,
Anderson
.Paak was inspiration.
Huge inspiration, and like my producer now, Made on Mars. Everyone go check him out because he's fantastic, and he's a super talented dude. I've known him since junior high, and he was the one who put me on to Anderson .Paak. He was like heavy into Anderson .Paak back in high school, and like I just fell in love with his work, and just has been such an inspiration for me. So that kind of style of like, and like, look, like I'm just trying to express like who I am and like how I feel, and like I'm on that same shit, man. It's like I'm a suave motherfucker, you know, like
hey, I ain't gonna disagree with you. That's facts.
yeah, so I'm doing my thing, and I want everyone listening to my music to kind of, you know, to get that vibe and get that feel. And it's for like I say in one of my tracks that's coming up, it's like, look, I make music for motherfuckers like me, and if you don't like my
track
music
on the way, hold on. Okay, because Body just came out. What was it?
Did.
About 3 days ago.
Yeah, the 11th. So yeah, 3 days ago.
Okay, new track coming out. Okay.
So body that and here, look, I'll give you guys a little something.
Okay.
Body was the last track you're gonna hear from TripppleCup. TripppleCup has served its purpose, but that era is complete, and very soon you're gonna be seeing the transition into really the next stage, and the better stage, the evolution number 2, Don Lamont.
Ooh.
Don Lamont.
Okay. I fuck with that.
I'm the Don. And Lamont is a family. My last name Lamb comes from like there's the different like Scottish clans. Lamont is one of them. That's where my family name comes from. So decided I'd, you know, pick up that bit of heritage, and
that shit nice.
Yeah. So the new shit's it's all me. It's you know, straight from the heart. And I gotta show you guys what I'm really capable of, because it's crazy how many of you guys love to sleep.
Hey man,
which, you know, you gotta do in the beginning. You gotta do, but also
everyone
like,
sleeps.
I'm
Literally,
waking you up. I'm waking you up.
Everyone sleeps, my guy. I don't know why, but like the moment you get put on, niggas are always like, "Oh yeah, I was been on his way. It's from the beginning." I'm like, "Come on, you don't have to lie to us. You can be honest. It's a safe space. You're good. It don't matter."
That being said, like I appreciate every person who takes the time to listen to my music and who, especially starting up, because not all my tracks, like, I mean, they have like the quality it has been good for a beginner artist, but it hasn't, you know, it's not. I'm not making music that's just objectively as good as the, you know, the bigger stuff, but like from now on, the shit that's dropping is just fire ass music. So it's not even gonna be a support thing. If you listen to it, it's just gonna be because I'm cooking up some real shit. Yeah,
of course. Like, bro, I'm not gonna cap. That's the same way with the podcast, bro. Like from the beginning, like probably the first 2-3 episodes, I would say, bro, I had like a $30 mic, no camera. I'm still this is literally like the basement of my restaurant I'm still recording in. Hopefully I can find a recording studio soon. Oh, if I can find one, that's beautiful. But like I'll send some shit your way. Some good local shit, man. Real shit. Okay, I fuck with that.
Yeah, we gotta build together. Yo, look, if you're from this city, man, and you're working on your thing, man, like you're not gonna get any hate from me. Like we can build together. It's the flame.
Like I was literally just talking about that with Godwin on the last podcast, and it's like Calgary has so much potential.
So much.
Like I'm seeing people who are playing guitar, who are Twitch streamers, who are motherfucking like musicians like you, and I'm like, why is no one talking about them, right? And I'm like, if people started, you know, having a platform where they can, you know, talk about who they are and like expand their horizons, that'd be beautiful. And I'm like, why don't I do that? The fuck?
And I was like,
and I'm like, okay, perfect.
No one does it better than yourself, you know? When you see something, you got to do it.
Exactly.
And my plan is here. I'm going end of the summer. I'm going down to Houston. I'm going down to Atlanta, and just because they got more infrastructure down there in terms of like hip hop and entertainment. Yeah. I've made some connections down there, but my plan is to be going about 50-50 between down south and here. And everything I learned down there, every connection I make, I'm bringing back up home, because like I intend to grow with the city, and I don't want to, you know, leave, but I think that there's a lot to be learned elsewhere that can be brought back here. Yeah, and in the meantime, man, like, yo, you keep doing your thing, everyone keep doing their thing, and know that if you're from my city and you're about what you're doing and you're respectful, man, I'm on your side.
Of course. Hey, everyone's gotta be respectful, because there's some niggas who are wilding for no reason, like throwing shade. I'm like, why? For no, like, if it's granted like criticism and they speak about it in a constructive way, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can take that, no problem. But like, if they're just coming at your neck, where it's like, nah, shut the fuck up, you weirdo. I'm like, who are you?
I've learned it's a lot about like you gotta filter out the trolls and then the people who are real. Like you can't get stuck, and it's hard for like what you and I are doing, like you're trying to be in entertainment. Like social media is a key part of it, and we got to promote ourselves, but you can't get lost on there, and you can't like look at what people are doing on social media and then think that's how people operate, because the truth is it's like this is just this one little part of our lives, and there's a big world out that door that like none of that shit's gonna hold true.
So true.
And so like there's people who are on social media and they'll do this and do that, and there's a million, like, look, and I've heard this a million times every time people find out I'm a rapper, right? It's like, oh, there's a million rappers, right? It's like, okay, there's a million people who call themselves rappers, but it's like, are there people who are going in every day and putting in the work and getting better? Because I'll tell you, like, half these people that I've interacted with fucking aren't doing shit.
That's so true. Because everyone says that they want to be something, right? But like, and they always get thrown off by the amount of effort that it takes to do said something. And it's crazy. And it's like, if you put in the work, granted, it feels like a lot of work, but in hindsight, it's like, it's all worth it.
Everything is work. Like no matter what your goal is, right? Like, you want to be a doctor, okay? Like, yeah, I'm gonna have faith that you can be a doctor. If you tell me that your plan is to be a doctor, like, yeah, for sure, I'll believe you. But it's like, also, I'm sure you understand that you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to get your undergrad. You're gonna have to apply to a med school. You're gonna have to get into a med school. You're gonna have to do the whatever, like 8 years of schooling you got to do, and you're gonna have to do all that shit. But I got faith that if that's what your passion is, then you can do it. Even though there are a million people trying to be doctors, right? And the same deal goes for, like, if you're trying to be a rapper. Yeah, okay, I believe you, but like, what are you doing? Like, are you waking up every morning? Are you grinding it out? Are you writing music? Are you learning the industry? Are you listening, taking in content? Are you planning ahead? Like, are you planning your releases? Like, all this shit, like, that's what the grind is. And then, there'll be a certain amount of us that make it, and there'll be a certain amount of us that won't. I'll tell you right now, the only reason I don't make it is because I decide not to. And that's it.
Yeah, it's like the moment you actually decide, it's like, all right, this is what I want to do, like, full time, then you have so much more time to actually put in the work, put in more effort, put in more dedication, and it's going to make worlds of difference. And especially on social media too nowadays, it's so crucial in order to get big. Like, I started, for example, I keep on talking about me for some reason. I hate doing that.
Of course, conversation, bro. Do it.
But like, for example, with the podcast, I'm like, okay, what if I start posting podcast clips, right? That was something that I started doing about episode 6. And I'm like, okay, that works. What about if I start posting the clips on TikTok? That started doing it. And I'm now, this is a season finale, right? So here's a little hint for, season 2. Might be some Twitch streaming about it too. Might be. Potentially. Who knows,
That's a good avenue to get into.
Oh yeah, nowadays, so many goddamn Twitch streamers. Like, one of my dogs, Timmy, going big on it. I'm like, yo, okay, if that's the case, I feel like there's an avenue that I could go in where I'm not only talking about the podcast, but like maybe I could play like an occasional game, maybe just doing just chatting with like a couple of my friends, something like simple like that. And then even live streaming the podcast, and like I could actually have people, hop in the middle of the podcast, like through Discord, and then we could just have a conversation with like one of the audience members, For sure, and I've been thinking about that for like maybe a couple weeks now. I'm like, maybe not. It depends on how it goes, with season 1, how things have been, planning out so far. And so far, things have been going so much better than I expected. Because I'm not going to lie, when I started off, I didn't think nobody wanted to listen to me. Like,
nah, man, you make good shit.
I appreciate it, man. I'm still learning on, how to take compliments. I think everyone, when they're starting to get big, they have to learn how to take compliments because they're their own, like, biggest critic, right?
Yeah. But you also got to be your biggest fan. Look, I'll tell you, no one bumps my music like I bump my music. Because that motherfucker's good. I'm listening, I'm like, shit.
Like,
yo, this sounds crazy.
It's like, okay, I see that hook. I see that delivery. And it's so hard listening to, like, previous episodes because I'm like, the way I speak is different than how I normally talk. Like now I'm gotten to the point where it's like a lot more comfortable on the mic, you know. Now I'm getting more, I've gotten comfortable to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I want to start, you know, showing my face on video and stuff like that. And it's all just, you know, a process of like, you know, just starting to get more comfortable. And I think it's
all
the same way.
All the process. And it's nice that you're sharing that too. So, you know, people can see like, it is all a process, and you know, everyone is human. It's like we're figuring it out. I mean, you and I are young too, right? Like, yeah, we're growing into ourselves. Like, we're not like 100% the men that we're gonna be. Like, it's still a road to get there, but it's like something that you're doing is sharing that process with the world, and that's something I'm doing as well. And so, like, I respect that. It's like, and you know, it's like that's not easy to do because there's a lot of people who, you know, see you and get, you know, whatever, it makes them feel some kind of way, right? And they feel the need to try and like lash out because it's like they're projecting their own fears. But it's like at the end of the day, like, we're doing what we're doing,
of course. And it's like, I think what I just spoke about applies directly to you, because I know for sure you had to have gotten like, you know, it was a little bit awkward at first. I'm not saying like your tracks were awkward by any sense. I'm not trying to throw shade by that way.
They were too. That first one, Lenny Kravitz, I mean, I'm happy with lyricism and stuff, but also it wasn't me. Like, I'd say everyone go back, listen to that shit. You're going to be able to, like, TripppleCup, Lenny Kravitz, all my TripppleCup stuff is still going to be out there. YouTube is the best place to find my early stuff. I'd say go check it out. It's not me, but it was my first attempt at rap, you know, and it is a bit awkward. It's clunky. I didn't necessarily have the rapper voice at all, and like also the shit I was rapping about was pretty cookie cutter, but you know, yeah, I still say check it out. But I'm sorry I interrupted you there.
No, bro, listen, I'm here talking about you take center stage in this. I'm just the voice of the audience where it's like, okay, what about this, what about that? Trust me, this is center stage for you. Go ahead, talk your shit, bro.
Right, man. Yeah. So but I agree, like what you're saying, like the, you know, it does apply to me in the sense that like I've had to take a lot of like shit from people, and I still take a lot of shit from people because people are maddies, man, and they ain't got shit going on in their lives, so they gotta feel the need to like critique me, and I understand. Like, I'm not even bitter about it because that's human nature, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now if I was scared of, like, you know, people's feedback. But something I've learned is like, if I'm confident in who I am and I know who I am, then who you think I am doesn't really matter that much. Like, there's
so true.
And something important to remember is like, look, if you can have 10 fans, you can have 100 fans. If you can have 10 fans, you can then have 1,000 fans. Like, you know what I mean? It's like people. There's so many people in this world, and there's people who like me. So it's like, there's going to be more people who like me. And if you don't like me, it's just not my job to try and convince you otherwise. I'm always here for a discussion. Right. And people know that, like, you know, if you do have a problem with me, like, I'm a level-headed dude. I'll talk it out. But, you know, there's bitter people who don't want to have a discussion, and y'all know who you are. So
okay.
I'm just saying, yo, don't call me over to start shit, because I'm not biting.
Okay.
And you know who you are.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna push any further, you know. Nah. But yeah, exactly. And like what you said is so true, especially nowadays with social media. You have to be able to like build a thick skin. And it was weird at first, like when you start out. It's like weird getting, you know, random people throwing shade. It's like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm like, it throws you off. And like you think about it, like for the day, I'm like, what did I do to make that person so mad? The fuck? Yeah. Like, if they message you and be
hurts,
hey,
man.
It does.
Yeah, those little feelings in you. They're like, oh, fuck.
Like, how? What the fuck?
What's this guy being mean?
Exactly. And I'm like, damn, okay, what the fuck? And like, you think about it for like a day or two. Sometimes it might be like, what if they say something like really out of line? Then it's like for a week or so. I'm like, what the? Why are they messaging me like this? But like, if they hit you up and like, hey man, I listened to your podcast, but like, you know, there's something that you could probably do to, you know, get better. Or like, say for example, someone messaged you, it's like, yeah, I like your music, but like, you know, you could do this, and this better. And like,
I appreciate that a ton. Constructive criticism.
Exactly. Like when people message me, it's like, yeah, I really like your podcast. I'm like, perfect. What do you think I should do to improve? You know, it's like, that's literally the first thing that you should always ask. And there's always those type of people who just hate any form of like criticism. I'm like, listen, you're gonna get criticism at any point. That's just a part of being a human, right? But it's just the way, like, if you can't even handle constructive criticism, you're never gonna improve. You're never gonna improve. You're just gonna stay like in one narrow path. Sure, you might get more followers over time, but like you're never gonna get super successful with it.
It's true. At the same time, though, sometimes constructive criticism is kind of out of line, because it's like, I'll find it's like people, you know, people who like will show interest in what I'm doing at like a party or whatever, like a, you know, they'll come to talk to me, and then they'll start giving me all this advice, and it's like okay, I appreciate it. At the same time, this is what I do. So it's
right.
Like,
yeah.
Don't be giving, like, you know, you aren't doing this. I don't necessarily think you know what's best for my path. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, that's not to say, like, you know, there's different types of constructive criticism, and like, I think when it comes to like something like you're putting out like a piece of content, which music is, it's not just an art form, it's also a piece of content. Like, I always appreciate what people's honest opinions are about the song. And if, like, you know, if you don't like the song, then like you're someone that's like willing to have a conversation about it, then like I love to hear that. I want to hear why. And sometimes it's as simple as like, oh, it's just not my style. Sometimes it's more like, you know, like the hook's not good. And you know, the bars were there, but like your voice is monotone. And I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate that, because that's things that I can work with, right?
Right, yeah. And that's always something that you can work on, get better with. Like, I remember someone messaged me. It was a friend from high school that messaged me. And like, we haven't talked in a while. It's like, yeah, I've been meaning to listen to your podcast for a while. But like, you know, something you could improve on is like, you know, say your name at the beginning. I'm like, what the fuck? Why haven't I been doing that?
Yeah,
it's like
it's
something
crazy.
It's like something you don't even think about, right? It's like,
yo, one of my early tracks, man, this is fucking hilarious. So I was in the studio ready to record. So this was Tropics, it's called. Tropics with 3P.
Right.
And it's a good song still, but it was, again, one of my early ones.
Right.
And I wrote it, and the flow is kind of good. It's like very like Jack Harlow vibes. But there's this one part that's like, and I never really gave a fuck, but I think I might try it. And initially I'd written it. This is so bad, bro. I'd written the first time I went to write to that beat, because I'll just put a beat on and write some shit. Yeah. I wrote it like, and I never really was a dunce. And then I'm in the studio spinning, and my producer's like, nah. He's like, yo, try this. He's like, try this. And I just said it, and I was like, that's obviously better. And not only is it better, it's the more obvious bar. Like,
exactly.
That's the one that like I was going so out of the way for no reason.
Like, for no reason. And then you think about it, you're like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I hate. It's not like I hate when that happens, but it's like, why didn't I think of that earlier?
Yeah.
Oh man, but hey, shout
that's
out
why
to
collaboration's great, man. It's like, because sometimes you just need someone else to come in at a different angle. And like, I write all my lyrics, but you know, there has been, I'd say, probably 3 separate times where like, you know, my producers helped me adjust something in the final stages. And like, I just, you know, that's the beauty of having someone else there with me. It's like,
right,
I can be so sure about something, and then just having someone come in with like another angle, it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's
that makes sense, kind of thing. And that's always the best part about like peer input. If you like, I usually run it through, you know, I run through episodes with like a couple of my friends, like, you know, what episode, like, you know, ideas for a podcast episode. And then it's like, okay, once I have that all set up, then I'm like, okay, then from there I can just freestyle, because I hate writing down notes for shit. I just like, maybe I'll have like a couple of jot notes where it's like, okay, I'll talk about this. But besides that, everything is like off the dome, because that's, you know, that's me. And so it makes it more.
That's a good type of content too, like free flow conversation. People like that.
Exactly. And then one person told me, it's like, you know, maybe it might be better if you add like, you know, a little bit of segments. And I'm like, that makes sense, because then people would have like a higher chance of retention, because then they can like go to specific parts of the podcast that they might want to listen to. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So ultimately, that's all gonna come with time. You know, experience is such a big thing, especially like handling, you know, social media, because I'm doing all the social media like for the podcast myself. It's so weird to have to figure out, you know, what time to post, when to post, what content to post, it throws you off at first because you have no idea what you're doing, right? Like you're a beginner in the game, and then you have to figure exactly. Then you figure out over time. It's like, okay, so most people are going to be on their phones at this time, so that'd probably be a better time.
Oh yeah.
And like
I didn't even think of that shit in the beginning. I'd be posting something up, and then I would get like just zero response to it. Yeah, I would be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, I'd post it and then immediately be buried by like 30 other posts, and I'm like,
yep,
what is going on? And then you know, you got to figure all that out.
Oh man, it's ass, but like overall it's worth it because then it gives you like that necessary experience that you need if in case like if you get big or stuff and you're like, okay, maybe I don't even need a PR team, like I could, because I figured it out myself. Of course you can get input from other people, but like ultimately like the best way to handle things is like by yourself and then get peer input afterwards. You know,
build to the level that you're able to you know, manage, right? And like, you know, focus on the things that you need to focus on to get good at them, and then add more to your plate, and then you can kind of grow at the right pace. And it's like, it's a cliche, but like Rome wasn't built in a day. Like it's a cliche because it's true. Like
it's true.
You know,
Yeah,
empires take a long time to build, and like that's what I'm aiming for. Like an empire. Like I want Drake level, man. Like I want the top. It's like that's not gonna happen in a couple years. I'm willing to put in the time till we get there.
Exactly. That's literally all it is. That's all you have to. You just have to keep on pushing and grinding and slowly building up the audience base, and then soon enough, you're not even gonna realize it, but like you're already at the top of your game, and you're like, and then you look down and you're like, that was 8 years ago, type of thing. It's like
for sure.
Feels like time flies, and like that's all it is. Just one day.
You never know where like the jump comes in, right? And like at what point it hits. Some people like, I mean, and the thing is, people don't even see what, like, if you look at like Jack Harlow, right?
Right.
Jack Harlow's everywhere now. Like he's everywhere. He's doing he's already got a song with Lil Wayne. He's got a song with Eminem. Like he's got a song with two of the GOATs, and he's 23 years old.
Jesus Christ.
But he's also been doing this shit since he was like 11, right? Like he's like, you can see his like old shit. Like he's been doing this since he was a kid. Like he's put in a decade of work, and like now he's there, right? He just started earlier.
It's the same way with like comedians too. Like for example, Drewski, one of the funniest niggas I've ever seen, right? And like I feel like it's easier to blow up in terms of comedy because like your skits can like really elevate, especially like with the platforms there are like TikTok, Instagram, like. But he was doing it for years beforehand too.
Age for comedy.
Exactly, and like even then, the type of content that he was putting out, it's just like 2-3 minutes, nothing too long, so then people could retain like attention a lot more. And then as a result, now he's going like hanging out. Jack Harlow is his fucking best friend.
Yeah, man, they're always doing shit together.
Oscars. He's going out to what's it called, MMA fights, boxing matches. I'm like, what the fuck? This blow like it was like out of nowhere, and that's like.
I mean, also look at like Joe Rogan, man. Like he started that podcast, I think a decade ago or something like that.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, and it just started like same thing you're doing. It was just like him in front of a laptop, and like it would be like I think it would be like 15-minute clips and stuff. Like him and this other comedian, they would like react to like fucked up videos and stuff. Jesus. And it was just something that he did, and then he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Moved to a bigger studio, doing it, and it's like now he's like. I mean, man, like Joe Rogan's practically his own fucking religion at this point. Like
millions
the amount of
people
that tune into him, it's insane.
Like I remember the episode with him and Kanye West. The whole world was on that, bro. Yeah, my lord. So going like overall, it's just one day at a time. Soon enough, you're not even gonna feel it pass by. But then it happens, and you're like, oh shit, it finally happened. And like all those years or months that you put into the work, the craft, it always pays off in the end.
Yeah. As long as you're doing it well, and
exactly,
and as long but I feel like most people kind of know if they're doing what they're doing well. Like if you're good at analyzing yourself and you're honest with yourself and you're comfortable with yourself, you'll know like the quality of your content, right? Unless you're lying to yourself, if you feel good about it, then you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me, bro. But speaking about the craft. Tell me what it's like a day in TripppleCup's life. How what are the step by step that you put into making a song, what inspires you to make a song,
Right.
the studio effort that you put in. Put me in your shoes for a day.
So basically what I'm doing right now, so I'm working full time at Earl's. I'm a prep cook there. So shout out Earl's. Everyone there is really supportive of what I'm doing music wise. So it's a great place to work. But yeah, I'll wake up early. I gotta go to work early, and then it'll be like kind of like 6 to 10 hour days depending on how busy.
Right.
I'll come home, kind of try and stay in that grind mode. I'll work with whatever not creative stuff I gotta do, but in terms of just like the technical side of music, planning. I've got a photo shoot that's in the works right now.
Okay.
I've got some videos that are in the works right now, planning studio time, just managing like accounts, all that stuff. There's a lot of like just this technical shit. It's not necessarily fun, but if I can carry through that like grind mentality that I have at work, bring it home, have a cup of coffee, fucking keep grinding at it. I'll usually just have goals that I got to get done that day. If I still got energy, like at that point, it's like, take a brief time to like relax, reset, and then try and do some creative work. Writing's not really something you can force. Like sometimes you're in a creative mood and sometimes you're not. And I've learned to like forgive myself when I can't write bars. Sometimes it's good to just sit down and write no matter what. But then like I'll get hit with these. I just try to act on like the moments of inspiration. I'll get hit with a moment of inspiration. Like I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling I'm feeling good. I'm like, I'm the shit, man. I've got this, like, or like, I mean, like a lot of my songs are like very sexy songs. People listen.
you
already know that.
So, if you're ever in, that type of mood,
Exactly. So it's like, sometimes after a certain interaction I'll have, then it's just time to write because I'm in that zone. And then, that's where like a lot of that type of energy comes from. And then there's always something to do. That's the thing. So I just make sure I put in the time every single day and work on something, whether it's like applying for grants, whether it's, submitting my music to playlists, whether it's, getting artwork designed, which like, Project E, he did a lot of my early stuff, and
shout out to Akil.
Phenomenal.
Yes,
phenomenal.
Sir. So yes, sir.
Everyone, like, has he been on here yet?
See, him and Tooch were supposed to be on the podcast.
Right, that's what I thought about it.
But they had some things that came up, so that episode is like it's in the.
Y'all need to get on here, man. We need to hear what you guys have to say.
Hey, I'm not gonna push him. Like I'd love to have him on, but like shit comes up, and I'm like, hey, life happens, Take your time.
But I'm
it.
pushing y'all. Get on here.
Hey, I've been asking Akil too. He said, "Yo, I'd love to." He said, just give it time. I'm like, I got you.
Yeah,
take as much time as you need, But like,
he's like man, that guy's a creative genius, and
oh god,
and he's one of those guys. He's built different. Like he's doing his own thing, and I fucking respect him a ton. And so he did a bunch of my early shit, the TripppleCup art, all my early covers, and then I've got a lot of my next stuff that's coming out, including Body, the artwork that was done there. You can check her out. Her Instagram is @janine.loo, Loo.
Yeah.
So go check her out because she's great, and she's designing a lot of what's coming next for me as Don Lamont. And it's some really good stuff. So big shout out to her.
Hey man, we love to hear it, bro. We love to hear the effort putting in, the dedication that you're putting through.
Yes,
that's literally
I promise you guys
this.
Love me or hate me, no one's ever going to be able to say that I'm not about what I do. And that's like, that's one thing. It's like if I'm ever going to be bitter about something, it's people who don't think that I'm about it, or who think that it's just some sort of like, look, I'm about everything I do. Like if you knew me, during uni when you did, like I was a fighter, right? I was doing MMA.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
I was about that, at that time of my life, that's what I was doing. And I was all in. And It's like, I pivoted and I'm still all in.
Exactly, bro. Like as long as you're putting in as much effort as you can in anything that you do, you're going to go far in it regardless,
I really believe that too.
Exactly. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something earlier. Fuck. You know what? If I remember, we'll go back to it. But
All right.
what are the plans for TripppleCup in the future? You know, like what do you have in mind?
Well, like I said, TripppleCup is ending here, but in terms of Don Lamont, there's a lot of plans. I'll give you some of them.
Okay, a little sneak peek. All right.
There's gonna be some performances happening soon.
Shit, that was my question. God damn it.
Yeah, there you go. See how it is.
God damn it.
Yeah, so that's next on the agenda, and people are gonna be hearing about that soon.
Okay.
I'm working with a really good team of like videographers. Tove Films. Everyone go check them out too. They do all my videos. And yo, if you haven't seen my videos, go check them out too. They're I'm
gonna link to your YouTube, bro. Trust me, I'm gonna link to your YouTube. If you have a link tree, like for all of your shit, I can do that.
Yeah.
Easy. I can do that, no problem for you, boss.
Yeah, and I think I mean, again, these are gonna be changing. So if there's any way like you can link, you know, like next month when they do change, if you can change those links, that'd be great, because then everyone can see what I'm gonna be doing in the future. I'm really excited for what's to come. Got some good videos coming. Like I said, I'm going down south, Atlanta, Houston. I've communicated with some really cool people down there. So, you know, I'm stepping up a notch. I decided, like, it's been a year of this. I've got my feet under me. I've found my style. It's time to like jump in the deep end, and I'm ready to fucking like swim with the sharks for real. Like anyone. And honestly, like, there's a lot of MCs in Calgary. You know, I'm always down to like work. I'm always down, like, if you want to collaborate, I'm here. If you're trying to throw shade my way, fucking do it, and I will hit that shit back so fast it makes your head spin. So like whatever people are on, whatever energy, bring it to me. Like Don Lamont, baby, like, remember that fucking name, because it's not going anywhere.
Hey man, can't wait to see it. Cannot wait to see it. Just got a couple more questions, and then we should probably be good to go here.
Sure, man.
So you said that you started COVID, right? Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry, guys.
God damn it. Damn it, Charlie. Fucking idiot. Anyway, but no, you said you started your rap career with COVID, you know, being around, like around, I think it was around July, August last year that you started? It was?
Yeah, it was. First track, it was either June or July that Lenny Kravitz came out.
Because I remember, I think it was around September with the Big Dreams music video. That was like your first one. And I remember, you know, Adiola, Dammy was in it, and I was like, okay, I fuck with it, you know?
Yeah.
And like,
shout out to Maya, she was great in that video too. Really natural in front of the camera, so definitely made it good.
So with that being said, like, you know, and with the world slowly opening up again now that the vaccine is rolled out, has that really changed, you know, your scheduling in terms of, you know, rapping? Because at this point you've been so used to, you know, just being indoors most of the time due to COVID, right? But now that things are slowly returning back to normalcy, well, I mean, as normal as anything could happen, you know?
Yeah, I've been anticipating this. Like I knew, you know, like, shit's gonna be opening up. I didn't want to be caught unaware by it. So,
right.
I'm ready for it now. It's at this point, it's like I'm itching to jump into it. And yeah, like, things are gonna change just in terms of like networking is gonna be a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Even last summer, networking was easier just because cases were down. Like, you know, last summer was relative normalness, and then it got all crazy again during the winter. You know, and now it's back, so I don't got to worry as much about, like, you know, not being able to meet up in person. Like that all that stuff's pretty easy to work with now. And so yeah, like, just getting my name out there, like, showing what I got, and this is why I'm really excited for the next tracks I'm releasing, because it's like, it's good shit. Like, it's stuff that I'm 100% proud to put my name on. And you know, and so at that point, all I got to do is make sure ears are getting on it, and I've already made connections with people that can help me do that. Like, now it's go time. It's like, you know, we're June 13th here now, 14th here, and
I think it's like the 14th today.
Yeah, 14th, and start of the summer, man. Like this is it. Like it's happening.
Man, we look, bro. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what you do next, man. Nothing
tuned,
but pride for you. You know, proud for you. Can't wait to see.
I appreciate it.
But I think I have one more question. But is there anything like? Hold on. Now I gotta think. What the fuck? I had a question.
That's all good, bro.
Damn. What the fuck?
I just hit you with too much wisdom. Bam, bam, bam.
You did. You did. I'm like, shit, I was not prepared for this, but I love it regardless, bro. That's literally all I love about with the podcast because everything is all authentic. Exactly. Yeah. Like everything is authentic. It's real. Like, because I used to think about doing like, what was it? What was I planning on doing beforehand? Like, I was thinking about doing Twitch streaming, right? Like before even thinking about doing a podcast. But then I thought about it, I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to be used to like, you know, talking just to myself on a camera. And then I started doing that with a podcast. And I'm like, okay, yeah, shit actually works out pretty well. Yeah. So, I don't know.
You're entertaining. You're fun to listen to. I could definitely see you on Twitch doing like, do you game at all? Like, is that...
See, I'm saving that actually for another episode where it's like, I love gaming, but like, it just isn't hitting the same, you know? Like, I don't know why, where it's like, I love playing games. I grew up with video games, but like, over time, it's just like, I don't know, either the gaming industry is changing for, you know, it's just not doing as well as it used to be, or maybe it's me personally, I have no idea, but like, I don't know, it's just not hitting the same, you know? Like, I'll be on my PS4, and I'd be playing a game, and then like, I might stop 20 minutes, and I'm like, I feel bored. Like, I feel bored, man.
Bro, I'm so shit at video games. I just get my ass whooped and I can't. I'm just like I don't want to.
You're like this shit. I don't want to do this no more, man. My ass hurts.
Exactly. Unless it's Mario Kart, yo, I'll take anyone on in Mario Kart.
Oh, that's Mario Kart. I'm a dust you.
All right, bet we're linking up. We're gonna do this shit because I'll rock you, man. Shine thief, bro. I'm gonna take your shine.
Yo, don't even try me in Mario Kart, bro. You don't.
Okay.
Don't try it. Don't try it.
We'll set it up. Maybe that's your first stream, yo. Maybe that's your first stream, you know.
Shit, who knows? It might.
We can back this up, you know, because you're all talk here saying you can beat me at Mario Kart, but I think the people are gonna have to see whether or not that's actual.
Okay. Keep that same energy when you finish last place. I got you.
Well, oh no, my energy will be even better than this because I'll be first place.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Oh my. But
I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring the heat on your own podcast, but it's just certain things I get touchy about.
Yo,
Mario Kart's one of them.
Okay. You know what?
That's actually my post-studio tradition. Me and my producer always play Mario Kart after we record.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
That's the magic.
Oh, okay. Last question I was gonna say. In terms of finding a producer, right? Is there anyone that you're looking for specifically? Like, how does that work in terms of like in the studio? What is the process of like finding a studio, finding a proper producer? Does your producer change per song, per album? Because I don't know exactly how it works. So if you let me know, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, like, so I was really, really fortunate. My like I said, my friend Luca, we've been friends for a long time. He's been doing music a lot longer than I have. And he went to audio engineering school in North Van. And so he's you know, he's got a lot of skill and super talented, and he's my friend, so I'm fortunate in that sense.
Right.
So we started working together, and we've really kind of hit our stride now. I feel like I don't even think y'all have really heard yet. Our relationship musically has gotten a lot better. So the next 3 tracks that I'm gonna release, like, we've just found a flow in terms of like, he knows how to mix my voice even better. He knows how to just make me sound the best that I can sound.
Right.
And you know, moving forward, like I want to experiment with other producers, other engineers, just because I think that's a good thing to do. You know, you don't want to only know how to work with one person, but he's always going to be like my guy, like,
right, of course.
You know, and I know like he's working with like the Section 4 guys, like 22 and Clizzy and them. So, and I know he's open for business. So Made on Mars, on Instagram, it's madeonmars.wave. People go check him out. He's really, really good. He's got his own music coming out soon too. And he's just a really cool dude. He's a sick motherfucker. So go check him out.
Damn, now I got more questions. All right.
Oh, man, spit. I cleared my couple hours for this. So
Appreciate you, my guy. So what is the rap scene like in Calgary? Because I know about a few artists that are not necessarily in rap, but like I'm not too familiar with the rap scene in Calgary, you know? So
yeah,
what's it like?
I'm still figuring it out, and I'm still at this point, a small fish. I'm just, making my way through. And since I've been doing this through COVID too, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because everything I've seen has been through social media.
Right.
There's a lot of talent here. That's one thing I know. There's a lot of talent here. In terms of like infrastructure, there's 10 at 10, which a lot of people know about. I haven't really had any interactions with them yet.
Right.
But there's also YYC Hip Hop Daily.
I saw that you had a couple bars on there.
Yeah, they've been doing their thing, which has been good. I'm actually doing a cypher with them in a couple weeks here, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be actually the first taste of Don Lamont that you guys get.
Okay.
YYC Hip Hop Daily cypher. I'm really excited. And they do like a Freestyle Friday thing too, which I've done. And yeah, there's a lot of rappers here in Calgary. A ton of different genres and stuff too. Like it's just I can't give you too much in terms of like, who's the next up or anything like.
Right.
But there's definitely a lot of people here, and I'd say I just recommend to people who are interested in learning about local rap, like just go on Instagram, search by like hashtag just YYC rap. Like you're gonna find people. Go follow pages, YYC Hip Hop Daily. Like they put on a ton of different people on their page that are just doing their thing. Some of them are good, some of them are shit. Like, but that's really up to the consumer to decide like what they like. So
right. Okay. So now I'm getting the sense where it's like a lot of budding artists in Calgary, where it's like nothing really major on top right now, but like everyone is slowly climbing their way up to the scene,
Yeah. There's some people that like I would like to say like are my personal favorites, like Sarah Itama. She's in Toronto right now, but she was in Calgary for a while, and she's great. Like, go check her out. She's phenomenal. Her voice is unbelievable. She's not just rap. She does a lot of different stuff. We have a song that will come out at some point. We'll save that because it's pretty awesome. And then another one is Tiny Wings. Tiny Wings is just a bad bitch, man. Like she's on it. Her lyrics are crazy. And then Michael Music. He's like producer, engineer, rapper as well. Like he's kind of next level. Like that's someone that I look up to in a lot of ways. He's been doing this for a lot longer. His lyrics, a lot of them just really hit home for me.
Right.
And yeah, so those are just some personal favorites. I know there's a ton of there's a whole kind of trap movement here too. Like trap's not really like my thing necessarily, but there's a lot of people making good trap music, and so just I'd say just check it out. Go look through Instagram, find some people.
Yeah, absolutely. Say less. So last question: is there a TripppleCup or Don Lamont album on the way soon? Streets gotta know about it. Streets gotta know.
Album, I don't think there's gonna be an album for a while. I'm not really in any rush to make an album. I think when I do make an album, it's gonna be when I'm a little more syndicated, and when I have money to get some features that I want to get. Until then, I'm gonna be putting out music consistently. There's gonna be singles, a couple EPs, some mixtapes. So
okay.
Yeah, just I'm not gonna stop. And shit, I got songs banked. I got plenty of songs banked, and I'm telling you, the shit that I have on tap right now that's recorded, ready to go, like it's hard for me to not put it out yet because it's such fire. But I gotta hold off because there's a time and a place for this shit. But I'm just saying, like, TripppleCup was my baby stage, but like Don Lamont's about to fuck some shit up. So
can't wait to see it, man. Hey man, appreciate you being on here, bro. Season 1 finale of the Most Wanted podcast. Damn, it's been a while.
It's a good show you got, man. It's a good show. I fuck with it.
Appreciate it. Want to give a special shout out to the audience members. If it weren't for them, for you people like you guys who, you know, support and encourage, I wouldn't even be where I'm at right now. Not like saying that I'm super big or anything, but like even be able to say that I'm finishing season 1, because I already have up to season 4 planned out, right? So the fact that I can say that I'm able to plan this all out is all thanks to people like you, people like the audience members, like friends, family members who are telling me, it's like, yeah, you could do this or that. It means the world. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone who listens on all platforms. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate everyone who made it to this point of the podcast, listen to all this shit. I like all love to everyone who who takes the time to support what I'm doing, because this is my dream, and I'm really happy to be able to live it out in the way that I am. And I just say, look, keep giving me a chance, keep listening to my shit. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy what's to come.
Hey man, that's all anyone wants to hear. I was actually about to ask you if you wanted to say any final words, but like, bro, that shit was perfect. That shit was perfect. But hey, thank y'all for making it to the end of the episode. If you want to show love to the podcast, follow me on both Instagram at Most Wanted Podcast and Twitter at Most Wanted Pod to stay up to date on guest features, upload days, and more. Once again, want to shout out those listening in on Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Anchor. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give a 5-star rating and review. You can also listen to the podcast on Spotify as well as on YouTube through the BrarHive channel, where not only can you find my podcast, but plenty of other top-notch material. Until next time, we out. Easy, y'all.
Peace.